Welcome back, everybody. We're going to be going back into the tournament here for the Tastes TV Stormgate Showdown. We just saw Laser eliminate Migi. Now it's going to be KIWIAN versus Nightmare.
The first Vanguard versus Vanguard series. It's pretty sick. Surgeon over here, being in the Vanguard players, very excited to finally cast his own faction.
Yeah, dude, I've been watching these buildings flying around, not knowing what's going on for the last day and a half, so yeah, this is going to be good for me. I'm really curious how the meta's changed in the Vanguard mirror. The big change that we want to talk about is the promote ability has been nerfed considerably. It changed from 15 energy to 5, and that was like what all the strategies were based around. You would like instantly go tier 2, promote Vulcans or promote Hedgehogs, and that was the matchup. But now that's much worse, so I'm kind of curious how the matchup's going to look after that change.
Yeah, I do think KIWIAN is the clear favorite here. I mean, KIWIAN has been, since like day one of Stormgate, he's been grinding. He seems to have a very deep understanding of how to react. I actually feel like he's almost better at this than maybe anybody with the exception of partying. Like, if you do something weird in the game, KIWIAN already has like a flow chart, like a decision tree chart that he's going to follow and counter it. So I think he's a great player to learn from.
I definitely agree. I like his style overall. The one thing is I hear you guys getting excited about Vanguard versus Vanguard. I am too. Like, I wanted to come and sit and watch.
VVV,
but
yeah.
I do feel like there is a non-zero chance that someone goes Celestial here.
If Jagged Maw is one of the maps, then
yeah,
I think you're right.
Let's pull the brackets up on screen here just so everybody can see where we're at. We've only had one player eliminated. It was actually a pretty good series with Migi versus Laser. It's too bad we didn't get more games out of it, but I think a Laser is looking really strong here. It's going to be Clem versus Laser in the quarterfinals. Theory is awaiting the victor of KIWIAN versus Nightmare. And then in the upper bracket finals, I got to say, Probe's been killing it. We really didn't know if Probe was going to be eliminated right away or not. Probe is like tearing through this tournament. He took down Clem 3-1. In some ways, I think Clem is the most, as far as modern era goes. You know, RTS has been around for about 30 years. If we talk about the last couple years, Clem has been the most dominant RTS player that we have here at the tournament. But Probe took him out 3-1.
Yeah, Probe's one of those guys who kind of excels in an early games meta, where it's all about like figuring out stuff quickly, right?
Yeah.
Like figuring out the best responses, theory crafting strategies, like generally. And he's really showed some awesome strategies that were different to the other Celestials in this bracket so far. And he's, like I say, taking out Clem is a huge result.
Yeah, it's crazy. So Clem's going to be taking a Laser on. But then we've got Probe partying here in the finals. And I think partying probably the favorite there, but maybe not.
Yeah, you might be. But Probe is playing like a completely different way. Like, he mined Therium against Clem, which I thought was outrageous. But he was able to win that as well. So, I don't know. He might have things that partying's not ready for, right? Like, these guys are all theory crafting all night. Like, we saw the difference in a Laser's play. And, you know, Probe has seen, he understands what's going on in the current meta right here today in Celestial versus Celestial. So, I think he's a smart guy, and he can maybe figure something out. Like, I'm not giving that overwhelmingly to partying.
Yeah, I mean, especially because it is Celestial versus Celestial, and Theory coming into Celestial as well in the previous round and actually making it look like partying was going to lose the series.
Yeah.
But then, you know, Probe is kind of also this player that is just like kind of thinking a lot about the game, like you're saying. So I feel like he could do a pretty good job of maybe upsetting partying there.
Yeah, this is a big part, I think, of why people love when a new RTS comes out, because as RTS like lifespans get longer, it goes more towards real time and away from strategy, because everything gets boiled down and you know what you're going to do, and it becomes about doing things quickly. Whereas early on in the game, and we've already seen it here, and this is why this tournament's exciting, it's almost completely strategy.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you're good at micro or macro that much right now. It is more about, does your opponent have a strategy that you can beat, or do you have a counter strategy? And that's what I feel like when you see newbies talk about RTS games, it's like, when they're looking, like, if someone, how do I beat Mass Carrier? And it's like, well, I mean, you don't let them get there, which is a real-time answer, but what they want is a strategy answer, right? So, like, this is the perfect time right now for the new players, where it's like, wow, this is all strategy here.
Yeah, I guess it's a lot more ideas. Like, if someone's going to come into a new RTS game, it's not – I mean, some of it's about grinding on ladder and, like, playing a lot of games, but a lot of it's just, like, breaking down the units and trying to get ideas and concepts that you can implement in a game here. And speaking of games, we're in this one now. It's going to be Nightmare here in the bottom left as Vanguard, and it says top on our overlay, but this is KIWIAN here in the top right, and this is going to be our first Vanguard versus Vanguard matchup, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, Vanguard was the first faction put in the game. I think it's very obvious it's a Terran-esque race, although it does function in ways different from Terran. Sturgeon, you're kind of the Vanguard expert here out of all of us. What is your take on the matchup, and what should we look for?
Well, like I said, this matchup used to be all about rushing to hedgehogs and promoting them, because promote only costs 5 energy. Now it costs 15, so I don't think that strategy is going to be as good. And also the time to go to tier 2 has increased from 15 seconds to 60, which makes getting that promote ability, it's going to take a lot longer to do that. So I'm kind of looking at this as well. We see Nightmare here going for the fast expand, overcharging those bobs to make his natural base, and Top is going to respond in the same way. Given that we have fast expands here, I'm expecting them both to go into Exos after this, because Exos in this current build are pretty strong. Probably one of the best Vanguard units right now, especially with their if you ever get to that tier 3 upgrade where they can evade death once every 2 minutes, they can avoid a fatal shot every 2 minutes, they become incredibly strong. So I would expect both players to go into Exos here, but we'll see what they end up going for.
Is it ever any of the, because in some of the previous builds, it was a lot of mass dog versus dog openers.
So the problem with that now is the dog upgrade against light units is on tier 3.
Right, okay.
So the I think it's plus 16 to light units. You have to get to tier 3 to get that upgrade now. So the mass dog meta is kind of dead.
I see.
Yeah,
okay,
that's a good thing. That mass dog meta was terrible. I hated that. It was like I refused to do anything that's on meta early on because I'm like, no. And so I'm sitting here making, one base, putting my lancers into fucking towers and like trying to, and the dogs are diving in, killing my bobs while getting hit by razor blades. What? No, thank you. Good patch.
Dude, my favorite strategy of that era though was the dog hornet build.
Dude, oh my god,
oh my, it was
that.
so fun.
Oh.
Because puppies and planes. Yes, exactly. Puppies and planes was so fun, dude. The fact that you just go in with a bunch of dogs and then you go in with hornets, right? And then you're like baiting them into going hedgehogs for anti-air defense, and then you just swarm them with a bunch of upgraded dogs. It is the greatest feeling.
I have a great story about when that meta was starting to pop up, right? So first I had a very frustrating game where someone used the habitat shield on a tower, and I couldn't kill the tower, so I'm like, damn it. And then I lost to I'm like, oh my god, because then the shield was on a hornet.
Oh yeah.
And then I tried to do that, and my habitat wouldn't make the shield on the hornet. I was so angry.
Although, hang on a minute. I thought the dog meta was dead, but we actually see both players making dogs.
Uh-oh.
That upgrade is tier 3 now, right? The bonus to light damage? You still have the slow upgrade on tier 2, I thought. We're going to have to see here if they do end up going for that or not. I thought like Bio would be good against this, like kind of Exos or Lancers. So he's
if you can't catch it, right?
Beryllium Claws. Oh no, it's still on tier 2. Oh, okay, never mind. Dog meta's back.
Sturgeon, how dare you not know the exact point of these upgrades?
How embarrassing.
This game has been out for 3 days.
Oh, I thought they pushed that back. Or maybe I got the name of it wrong. But okay, so the upgrade is still on tier 2. So, yeah, dog meta is alive and kicking.
Oh, thank God.
Artosis is fuming right now.
Oh,
I hated that.
Oh, the dogs. Yeah, I mean, I don't know when we're going to see a pullback here from the dogs being made, but it's like 3 Raxes over here at Nightmare's base.
Oh, so this is still a thing?
My God,
we have this in like certain matchups, like Terran versus Terran in StarCraft 1, where you both have to just keep making vultures. And it's like, well,
Protoss versus Protoss, Phoenix.
Yeah.
You see how many dogs they have right now?
It's a lot of dogs, man.
Dude,
it's kind of like a dog ant farm over here. They look to the buildings here.
Bob Barker is rolling in his grave right now.
Okay, one dog got pinned there at the tree, so that got taken out.
Yeah, and both of them actually promoting their dogs as well, which gives them the I think it gives, what is it, 20% health, 10% damage or something now,
It's
as
an
well as
extra
the
vision,
vision.
too.
Yeah, but we see Nightmare clearing up these dogs, Top rallying him more, but
Yeah.
Nightmare's starting to take an advantage here in the numbers.
It's 8 workers now. I guess he just sent more, but it was 8 workers on that Luminite patch. What is it over here? So what he got maybe 4 total.
Dude, it's so funny just watching them run across the map. It's just like this train of dogs.
Oh my
all-
god!
Oh my
Thompson's
God.
Literally,
Look at
it's
them
an
go.
arrow of dogs.
So many dogs.
Oh my god.
What? It's a. Oh yeah, it's a pack, right? Like a big group of
Sure,
dogs. It's a
yeah,
pack.
yeah.
No, it's a murder of dogs.
A murder of dogs.
A gaggle
Yeah,
of dogs.
it's a gaggle of dogs. We're on.
It's a business of dogs, guys.
And Nightmare just has more dogs.
Well, this is what we call the dog concave, which is stronger than the dog convex.
Nice. I love that reference. People say that. That's my favorite tastelessism. Is the concave or
That's going on my
convex.
soundboard right there. If you ever guys ever replace me and I'm
All
gone.
right, get your dogs ready. Dog City.
Okay, he takes out a building here. I don't know if he's going to get much more done than that, though.
yeah, Top forced to use the overcharge on the bobs there, so he will be able to send these other dogs away. Like, kill the habitat. The habitat is light, so the dogs do extra damage to it. But I think now as Top, like, I'm not sure what you do, because once you're down in dogs, like, it's tough to transition to anything else that can stop the dogs. You give up all map control.
But he has 4 barracks dogs or 5 barracks dogs. He's on 5 barracks dogs.
That's a lot of dogs.
That's more than 4 barracks dogs. Man.
5 racks dogs, dude. Wow.
Yeah, we see Nightmare going into Lancers here, which are obviously much better in the straight-up fight. The issue is when you get like backstabbed by a pack of dogs and your Lancers don't have the mobility to keep up, right? I'm also curious, what creeps are light nowadays? Because the dogs shred any creeps that are light, right? But
Yeah.
if they're not light, then they take much longer to kill them.
I want to see how many dogs it takes to kill the Skull Squisher. It would just be the greatest massacre of all time. It's like 400 supply of dogs to take out that camp.
Well, he's going to be heading down now. KIWIAN is moving out after clearing that creep camp out. I think he's got the edge here. I mean, supplies are even, but I think he has a little bit more when it comes to the dogs. So he's going to capture this watchtower as well.
Yeah, Nightmare does have that third base now up and running. The issue is he's trying to transition out of dogs, and sometimes when you transition, you can get caught by the guy who just continues to make dogs, right? And if he can take a good fight, this could end up swinging in his favor.
That is wild to me. Okay, see, he's made that building that I like to make there against the dogs, the little razor blade shooter.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be able to do
Razor
too
blade
much like
shooter.
that. Now, dogs, as far as I know, there's no upgrade for them to shoot up yet, right?
Not yet, yeah. They can't
They,
bite
we
up
should
yet.
they
make
can't
that.
just jump
Yeah.
up and like attach to the hornet on the
Dude,
sky. and
imagine
kill
that.
it.
It's like the Leica upgrade. It's like that dog that went to outer space. They go up, but they do not come
They gotta
down,
get
guys.
the-
So
yeah,
sorry
yeah,
about
They gotta
that.
get the airbud upgrade or whatever.
The airbud upgrade.
There's no rule saying that dogs can't play in the NBA, Tasteless.
we checked the rule book. That nothing says the dogs can't do air damage. So.
Yeah.
All right, there's the razor blade shooter trying to do what it
Okay.
can using
So,
its disposable razor
We
blades.
were saying earlier, like, the Lancers beat the dogs, but the dogs have speed.
Right. And we see Top taking his third base now as well. But it's going up much later than Nightmares did, which has been up and running for a good amount of time here. He's even got that scrapyard there, which is where all the new Vanguard upgrades are, such as the top bar ability one, the improved Bob overcharge one as well. So I'm not sure if he'll go for any of those. We do see some Hornets out as well. Puppies and planes, dude.
The big PP build, man.
And yeah, as you guys said, puppies do not shoot up. So
I once had a dog that ate bees, but I don't know if that counts as air damage.
Oh, my God.
Top's going to go into Exos here because that's basically all he can make that shoots up right out of the barracks. He does have the Biolab already because he got the dog upgrade. So that's kind of the natural transition. But I think Nightmare's gaining control in this game one, I would say. He's got the map. He doesn't have the map control with dogs anymore, but he's going to be able to harass Top at all his different bases, and Top's going to have to set up a defense very precisely with like exo turrets and stuff, because as the Hornet numbers grow, you will start to lose units.
I thought he was going to
Workers.
stay outside here with the dogs and then just try to hit the command post with the Exos, but he's going to back up.
Dude, I don't think the dogs are going to scale that well. Like, maybe he can
Yeah.
surround a little bit. Maybe if he sees his opponent microing heavily here, he can make all the dogs do their vision thing at once and try to blind him. But other than that, there's not... It doesn't feel like they're going to be that useful moving forward. I feel like I'd want to try to trade them off.
Dude, so we were thinking, like, you were like, oh, the plus light damage is the 3rd tier upgrade for the dogs. What I just remembered, it's a new upgrade which does let them pounce. They actually do jump at the units and attack them again. So I was wondering, like, if there's like
What is that, like it just speeds them up? Or
I'm not sure. I haven't actually seen it in game yet either. But like I remember saying it reads that they pounce at these units or whatever. So I was thinking, like, can they get like the next upgrade to make them scale a little bit better? So I'm wondering if he's
so
gonna
that's
maybe
the
get
tier
that.
3.
Yeah, it's the next upgrade.
Gosh,
for
that's
them.
the reverse of my dog, man. Trying to teach her not to pounce is a tier 3 upgrade.
The Exos are going to come down here. Gets a defensive shield there on that. And now it's going to be actually Nightmare pursuing KIWIAN here. Now, the Exos are not fast. They get a speed buff if they shoot, so it's like you have to kite away. You can't just right-click out. But, yeah, it seems like KIWIAN's just going to be able to back off here.
Right, and I don't think these Hornets got the damage that Nightmare was looking for. Like, we didn't see a big number of Bobs go down or anything, and I think Top's actually going into the stronger late-game composition with this big Exo Ball.
Yeah, he's
So-
actually recovered really well.
Yeah, sick defense. His third was later, but he's caught right back up here in the supply. He's actually ahead in supply somehow. And Lancers and dogs, chasing dogs and Exos is going to be kind of tough, I think. In big numbers.
Nightmare is going to come up to this expansion. There's not that much to defend here. Oh, big
Oh, the
surround over
Exos.
here with the dogs
Oh
on the
my-
Exos.
That is actually huge, but then the other dogs coming in from top will be able to save them for now, but then his natural is getting completely ransacked by all these Lancers here. Going to be forced to react to this as well, and then the dogs from Nightmare are going to go back over to that 3rd base as well on the minimap here, but there is an Exo turret available here, but that's going to get taken out pretty quickly, which means that these Bobs are also now under threat, as the Lancers in the natural did get dealt with.
Oh, and he has no Bob overcharge available, so they can't get that armor bonus, and they will get absolutely shredded by these dogs. The extra damage here. Meanwhile, Nightmare's swinging. He's got a
still
pack of
making
dogs running
dogs?
around there somewhere.
Dude.
I think he has the next upgrade for them. I saw them. They get
Yeah,
like a
they
speed
looked
boost
like
or
they were
whatever.
doing something new.
They
Yeah, see that?
Oh, that's, I guess, is that their jump?
Oh
I
my
think
gosh.
that it looks to me like
my
it functions
God.
maybe similar to Zealot Charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. They go so fast.
Yeah, he's clearing out this expansion over here. These Bobs are going to be taking a lot of damage. Big repair over here. I mean, right now, Nightmare, he's starting to bleed off a little bit here, supply-wise. It seems like KIWIAN is going to stabilize.
Yeah, he did some damage here, but as long as Top stabilizes on 3 base, Exo Medtech is like a much superior comp eventually.
Yeah.
Especially if you ever get to like Nanoswarm and you Nanoswarm the dogs and stuff, it becomes
Oh,
really
God.
insane.
Oh, yeah, because they're mechanical. Even though
yeah,
they're dogs.
they can be Nanoswarms.
Oh my God.
Because they're
Nanoswarm
robot
dogs.
dogs.
What I really want to see is that new tier 3 unit come out and like use bombing runs against dogs. I'm like, well, that's overkill.
Did the RSPCA is going to phone up?
Peter's got to have a word with you guys.
Okay, he has to overcharge there to save, but he's attacking in 2 bases at once. You can't overcharge 2 bases at the same time. There is a cooldown on that, so he's only able to save 1 of these mineral lines, and going to take some damage over here at the 3rd. All the Bobs evacuated now. Nightmare's getting some good damage done with these dogs, to be fair.
Yeah, he's doing really good. We didn't see any harassment really happening with the Hornets transition, which I feel like he only honestly made like 1 or 2 of them. But now he's getting such more extra damage with the dogs. However, he's going to get caught in the middle here as his Exos don't have the rest of the units there to help them.
That army looks too good. I don't think he has anything to hold on against this army of Top. Like, this is... It's just so many Exos right now against so few.
Yeah, in a straight-up fight, the Nightmare's army basically has no chance, which is why he's been backstabbing so much, trying to get his worker damage. Top kiting like a machine here, gonna get so much DPS out of these Exos. Even the Nanoswarms coming down on the dogs like we talked about is just insane AoE DPS. And Nightmare's losing a lot of units here.
Yeah, I thought Nightmare was going to take that for a second when the dogs came down from the top, but there wasn't like enough mass for them to kind of stay there and force them down.
Yeah.
The push is going to come in here from KIWIAN. And I think, does he just barely
God.
not have enough?
But the focus fire from Nightmare is actually so good.
Yeah,
and KIWIAN, I don't think, is actually doing any focus fire on these Exos, and that's going to be that.
Wow.
A GG.
He ends up taking it. That was a good back and forth game.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, it was the focus fire there.
I don't.
It's the difference between. So if you don't know, if you're new to RTS, you would A-click behind the army or sometimes in front, depending on the setup. And then each unit will just default onto another unit. But if you're going to A-click onto a unit or right-click, then you can focus fire him down. And so that'll snowball the fight.
Yeah, that game was kind of insane, honestly. Like, Top definitely had the better late-game comp, but Nightmare just got so much done with those dogs. He kept attacking that third base. Even at the end there were no workers mining there. So Tom's composition was better, but he just couldn't get enough out, right?
It reminded me of some of his, like some StarCraft 2 type of micro. Like I saw the dogs move in and go on hold position, which we will be calling stay when dogs do it. And, you know, just there's like turrets in there to stop it, but he's killing off the bobs at that point.
What's
I didn't even pay
the
attention.
command?
I'm sorry, I can't just
What's the
move on
command
from
for when they
that.
attack?
That's genius.
What's the attack command for them then?
I don't know. What do you use for a dog? It's like,
Sick.
get him.
Sick 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's sicking the dogs on. That actually sounds good.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, it works.
All using stay position.
We're going to be going into map 2 in a second here.
Fetch.
Nightmare.
Fetch.
If Nightmare beats KIWIAN here, I would say that's a pretty
Fetch,
big-
that's when they clean up camps.
If Nightmare beats KIWIAN here, that's a pretty big upset.
Yeah, it is. It
I
is.
mean,
Yeah.
KIWIAN, I
I actually think KIWIAN's one of the strongest players. Like, I really,
Yeah.
I think his play is fantastic. I love
Every
watching
game
him.
I see him, I learn something.
Yeah,
every
absolutely.
time.
I mean, he's also someone that is just generally really smart with what he comes up with. Like a couple patches ago as well, when it felt like there was no way as Vanguard to beat Infernals, and then he comes out with that super fast Lancer all
Yes,
in or whatever.
I remember
Speed
that.
Lancer all in. And he was like, he's like the only one doing it and doing it so well. So
Yeah, that was actually a very cool build. I like that one a lot. But actually, just to mention, right, like he was the one taking a lot of damage at the very early game, and Nightmare got such a tempo advantage with the dogs and kept that tempo advantage going.
well, he also the Nightmare though then like overextended I think into the natural after the first big dog attack, and then it ended up being kind of even, and then but then eventually Nightmare did kind of get it back a little bit. So.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was really interesting as well that they were expanding and then going into dogs in the first game. We used to see them just go straight into dogs on one base.
Yeah.
And then, like, you were lucky if you could get a natural up against
Yeah.
mass dogs.
Yeah.
But the first game is different. They both expanded.
he's going
Here we
mech
see, we're going to see hedgehogs coming out here for top. So this is what I was curious about. Like, how does the dog fare up now against the hedgehog? Because the hedgehog with promote used to be really good against the dogs.
Well, if we look at the animal kingdom, like literally the spines are meant to stop dogs from biting them. So
But aren't hedgehogs like going extinct or something?
Are they?
I don't think so.
Endangered?
Are they
No.
endangered?
Well,
even?
Dude,
not-
they're like a
not
pet.
for Celestial, they're not.
Oh my god. We also saw Top. He refunded the barracks as well. It's one of the cute little things you can do as Vanguard in these early build optimizations to make it so it's super good. Is that you can get the barracks money back for free, and then you get a little bit of extra money to go fully on into the early hedgehog opener. So just makes you able to get everything just a wee bit faster. And this hedgehog is going to be out pretty early.
Yeah, definitely. It hopes you get all the money back.
Yeah.
Not like in StarCraft 2, you actually get 100% of the resources back. So you get that 150 minerals back, and you're able to get your expansion up just that bit quicker. You do have to remake the barracks at some point if you want to make additional structures.
and that's lost money too. So
Right. But like, I think it kind of works out. Like, some people are for it, some are against it. I don't know. We see the hedgehog poking in here, trying to get some damage on these dogs. Good defense so far, though, by Nightmare.
I think it's going to really start to ramp up once you get like 2 to 3 hedgehogs. The first one doesn't normally really do much, I feel like. It's like they're usually going to have enough to deal with it. But once you get a couple of them out, then it starts to snowball.
yeah,
pretty
the
quickly.
first one feels like a Reaper or something.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it actually starts to deal some damage.
Yeah, the problem here, though, is that once you, like you said, once they get into big numbers, the hedgehogs can kite for a very long time. And eventually you have to, like, split your dogs into 2 packs, right? one to either flank or to counterattack or something, because if you just try and fight straight up, the hedgehogs will kite the dogs forever. We do see top throwing down that Natural now, much later than Nightmares, but you know, that's the trade-off when you go for these early hogs.
Yeah, and you can see, I mean, the dogs really can't compete with the
Early,
hedgehogs.
did you say early hogs?
Early hogs.
It's hogs versus dogs, boys.
Dogs and hogs. Early hogs. You got early hogs, you got late hogs.
I'm all hogged up, bro.
Yeah, the dogs really can't compete with the hedgehogs at all.
Sorry.
Gemini likes that
So
one.
funny.
yeah. That's
Way
a
too
funny
much.
one.
Gemini.
Gemini laughing
That
at that
was
is
so
funnier
funny.
than the Ocean's joke.
It's because it rhymes.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I'm sorry. Oh my god.
Okay, we finally see an Exo come out here. This Exo turret is going to be very difficult to break with just hedgehogs. But he can, he's looks like he thought about running past it here, but it's very risky to do. So we see Top now going into his own barracks. Like you said, you do have to remake that barracks if you salvaged it, because otherwise you can't make any more barracks or any more mech bays or anything, right? So he remakes that now, and then we'll see what he's going to follow up with here in the mid game.
Yeah, the hedgehogs are getting up to a good number here. He's gonna have to be really careful about getting that burst down. Like if you lose this turret, this is gonna landslide quickly.
Does the hedgehog have enough range if you went above the command post at the
Yeah.
second base? Can you hit it, or is the Exo tower
Oh, probably not
gonna
the
reach it?
maybe not the CC, but the building above it definitely looks like it could be
Okay.
hit.
Look at that.
Yeah, the range of those turrets is actually pretty long.
Yeah.
It's hard to actually kind of poke against those things.
It's a little bit of harassment there. Not really finding too much luck with the dogs this game.
This is kind of interesting. KIWIAN now is going back into barracks play, it seems like. He salvaged the, refunded the mech bay, and he's made
Oh,
another
really?
barracks.
Okay.
Wow, interesting.
I haven't seen. Yeah, now he's making
you're right.
the bio lab in another barracks. Yeah, he's going to switch now back into bio.
So they're both going to probably go Exo from here, I would imagine.
Surely.
But it feels like I feel like he hasn't done enough with the hogs to
yeah.
to justify the cost. You know.
I actually really like if he'd have followed up with dogs, which do extra damage to the Exos. I feel like that would have been a very nice follow-up. It kind of just, that's an old build as well that used to be quite meta. Opening hedgehogs and then going into dogs later once they get Exos, because you have that bonus damage against them. But he, like you said, he salvaged it. He's going to go into Exos himself here, just, I guess, feeling that that's the stronger comp as the game goes on.
Yeah, still roaming about. Like they still have some use, but it really doesn't feel like they've actually done very much. It's like everything's been parried very well by Nightmare here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Already going up to that central command as well, so I'm kind of curious. I think Nightmare's plan looks pretty set. Like he's gonna make Exos for the next couple minutes here, as Top has the map control with the hedgehogs. But eventually, once he gets a big ball, he'll be either safe enough to either move out on the map or take a third base.
I think KIWIAN is doing the dog thing, like you were saying. I
Oh,
saw
is he?
had
Oh, is
like
he going
four-
dogs?
He had
Is he
like
going
4
dogs?
in the natural, I'm pretty sure. If we can take a yeah.
Oh,
he's getting
right.
the dogs
Okay.
in. Yeah.
Sick.
That makes sense because
Yeah.
they synergize really well with the
Oh,
hedgehog.
okay.
Yeah, because they're so
Yeah.
fast as
That's
well,
cool.
so you can
Well,
keep up with both of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
If
just
they
one
make-
big ball that can go really fast.
Yeah.
Right.
Speed, man.
They're the exact same speed, or?
They look like they go pretty similarly in speed at least. Yeah, look at that. They're like all
Can we
sticking
call,
together.
you said this is older meta, right, Sturgeon? So can we
Yeah.
call it? Can we call this the Vanguard versus Vanguard OG strat?
Sure, yeah, why not?
Hogs
Yeah.
and dogs, OG. Come on, guys! Oh my God, Tasus, if you're not going to laugh at my jokes, I don't need you here.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
definitely a
God.
build that's kind of been popular throughout a few phases of the beta. And
It's Rhaegar. Oh, sorry.
eventually the bio player, the Exo player, does get medtechs out though, which again the Nanoswarm is good
Right.
against both the hogs and the dogs, as they're both mechanical. So you look to get some damage done at some point here as Top, but usually when the Exo player takes their third base.
I just love that we have puppies and planes, and now we've got hogs and
dogs.
The fact that he's going for both of them as well now is great.
I was thinking about how bad of a life is it to be a creep, where you like get attacked and you can only go so far to then go try to defend yourself. No, I give up. They're retreating. It's fine. Oh, well, they did it again. All right, they're retreating this time.
Yeah. They're just trying to defend their little area.
They just want to keep their tower.
Yeah, man, they love their little tower.
I don't think the creeps did anything wrong in this game.
No, yeah. I agree. The creeps
they
are
existed.
Really,
yeah.
It doesn't. I mean, I haven't played the single player yet, but I was going to say if this is Earth, like those are not Earth creatures. So yeah, they did something wrong. Do not come to my planet and think that I can't take that land from you.
I mean, this game is sized up to be kind of a crazy macro game. We got a lot more Exos and Lancers here. Still a decent amount of dogs here for KIWIAN, who's staying back. Is there some kind of an endgame tech, Sturgeon, that you want to go for? Like, do you want to go to Tier 3? Because in some matchups, like, you actually want to lock into, like, a certain unit comp and write it out.
As which player here? Because Nightmare would love to for this game to, like, last a long time, whereas Top on and Hog Dog, like, has to kind of get something done or hit some kind of time in or get some economic damage, because eventually the med techs just outscale everything. And we do see him starting to add in these Exos now, because you can't stay on Hog Dog kind of forever. But I think he got a lot done with it. Like, he had map control for a very long time. He crept a lot. We see him controlling quite a few of these camps. But the big Exo med tech push here is going to hit pretty hard, I think.
So my question is, because obviously the Hog Dog does fall off a little bit later. Was KIWIAN supposed to try and find some sort of timing to jump on the Exo before they can get into big mass net right now? Because it seemed like he didn't do that much with them. Like, he had some map control, but then he didn't, and then he just is going into Exos now.
Right, he did get the third base pretty quick though, right? And we see this big timing hidden here as Nightmare pushes in. So many Exos, and it's kind of an awkward fight here for Top, stuck behind his own buildings.
This setup is a nightmare.
Dude, that one nanostorm on the right side got so much damage.
Literally, the building he needs to protect is in the way. He can't get through here. He can't save his base till he loses his base, basically. So he's like, he's heading up to the side here.
The nanoswarms on those dogs are just brutal.
But, I mean, there's still so many Exos here from KIWIAN, and then the Hedgehog's also coming in with extra damage. Actually totally wipes the fight, and he's going to take a commanding lead in this, also having a third base still up.
Dude, I'm surprised. That looked like it was going to go the other way to me.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that command center didn't die. It had a clutch repair on it at the end there.
Yeah, the repair was sick.
Yeah, it looked like there was no way to save that, but a really nice defense here by Top, and he used the Hog Dog to get that third base up nice and quick, so yeah, he's looking really good in this game right now.
Yeah, I mean, if this game ends with a KIWIAN win, we got to go back to that moment, basically. He's up here on the high ground. This is going to be a little bit hard to attack down that double ramp. I don't know if you can comfortably get in there or not. I feel like it's a little bit too much of a bottleneck.
Yeah, into that Exo turret would be really tough, right? Especially if he makes a rampant with that the habitat, the shield upgrade. It'd be very difficult to attack into.
Yeah, I do like that Nightmare's going for that, because he knows that he's behind on the economy there, and he did kind of just lose that fight too. He needs to take some sort of risk. So this base is pretty far out and kind of in a weird spot, but it has the double Illuminite mine. So if he can take advantage of this could be a nice way for him to get back into the game.
Yeah, definitely. We see Top just moving around here. Going to take some more creep camps. They've all refreshed now. They're all back up. So you want to take those again. Get that vision buff. The vision buff is now global. So you get a little bit of extra vision on all your units, as well as just the circular vision at the camp itself. And I don't know. I think we're going to see the players take camps and macro up a bit more here as we kind of get into the mid-late game. We might see... Do we have the Tier 3 X upgrade coming online for anyone? Because that upgrade is huge, where you survive. You dodge one fatal shot every 2 minutes. That's actually insane. We see the tanks coming out now. Yeah. Paired with the evacs, that is an Exo shredder.
Yeah.
Dude, those are so fun to watch.
No, Mass Atlas is pretty insane against Exos.
Yeah. They did nerf it a little bit. It takes a little bit longer to fire now, the Atlas, but it's still pretty good, I think. The only real danger is if you get your evac nano-swarmed or something, right? Or if they have Hornets themselves to shoot out of the sky. But it's going to be really tough to deal with here for Nightmare, I think. Especially the base he took, the double Luminite mine, it's down in that valley. If you put some tanks on the top of that valley, like on the cliffs, it's going to be really tough to get up there and actually hit them.
Oh my god, dude, that would look so. Yeah, I mean, that's like all of Nightmare's economy as well in those 2 huge Luminite mines. If he can get those tank shots on that, would be so sick.
Yeah, and if he can set up over there, I don't think there's any way to deny it. Like once you get that position, you're not going to be able to shut that down.
And it looks like that's what he's going to go for. Breaking down the trees here. Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Ooh.
Oh, come on, hit it in the middle.
Give us the juicy
Come on,
shot.
please, get the good shot. No, there's nothing there. Come on, give me the satisfying moment.
Shot in here.
Boom.
Oh, the dog flank.
Oh, the dog flank. Dude, that's a lot of dogs coming in on those flanks.
Yeah, I mean, let's see how this next Atlas shot does. Oh, he shoots it down. He takes it out. Another one in the back, though.
Is it the shield there as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing engagement by Nightmare, making the best of what he had, but he's actually going to clear out all these Exos, which is really good, using that Bob overcharge. The tanks are still a big problem, though. Like, you can get a lot of value over time with them. But amazing hold here by Nightmare. I didn't think he'd be able to hold that, honestly.
I mean, did he hold it, though, is the question, because these tanks are so... Nice snipe on the evac. Does get one with the tank inside, but there is still one more tank on the back end here, and he kind of had to suicide all his Exos to get onto it as well.
But he can't pick it up.
Yeah.
It's stuck there, so it's going to get picked off.
God, the dogs are so weak versus that. Look how long it takes to kill
Yeah,
it.
It just gave up.
That was painful to see.
I mean, there has to be some accuracy, right? Like,
Yeah.
dogs cannot be.
They can't bite their way through a tank.
How many
right?
dogs would it take to eat one tank right now?
How many dogs did it take to get the center of an Atlas?
Yeah.
I mean, that was still a great hold, like, overall. Like, he did eventually hold it, like you're saying. The supplies evened up a little bit there, but it's still pretty favored for KIWIAN right now. It's like, because he had to suicide a lot of Bobs. Look, there's, like, barely any left in there right here. He had to pull them to actually defend that initially as well, so still not great for Nightmare, but that was probably the best fight he could have hoped for.
Definitely, and he's actually going back into, like, mass dog here. Does it look like he's kind of given up on the Exo Wars, or is he making something else? Is he just going to...
Sorry, who?
Nightmare, sorry.
Oh.
Nightmare's gone back into making dogs.
Yeah.
And he's actually going for the Pounce upgrade, the Tier 3 dog upgrade. So we're going to see this for the first time here.
That was last game, too. That was like that speed boost.
Oh, the speed boost. Oh, yeah.
It's not really a Pounce, I guess. It's more like it's like what Dan said, like it's an Artos or it's like a Zealot charge. Sorry.
An Artosis charge.
Seems that way. We'll call it dog legs, but it has to cost twice as much.
Wow, they're actually really fast with that.
Yeah.
We got Vulcans, too, now as well, coming out of KIWIAN. I love the Vulcan, by the way. That was like one of the most satisfying units to use, I think.
Did I remember there was
going
like
through
2
trees with
months? All you did was make Vulcans.
Dude, they're so fun. Like, you just sit there, you just watch them shred, then you do that little jump jet thing forward, and you get even closer, and everything just melts. Oh, it's so satisfying.
Yeah, and they have that sick upgrade now, the Vulcans, where if you use the dash,
Yeah.
their gun is fully charged.
Yeah.
You know, he has to wind up before, but now it's fully charged after the dash if you get that upgrade. I don't know if we have that online yet, but that's something that will be really good against the dogs here. Those Vulcans generally just shred dogs, honestly, if you can get a straight-up fight.
It's kind of interesting as well. I mean, Nightmare getting the extra dog upgrade, and after doing so, he's actually, yet again, trying to do this crazy harass everywhere, and he's doing a pretty decent job of it. I feel like he's still, like, kind of making this a game a little bit, but I feel like once the actual engagement happens, it's going to be so difficult to get a favorable fight against tanks or Atlases and Vulcans now.
Yeah, last time he had Exos to help out with this defense. This time he does not, right? So, like, well, not many anyway. So you're going to have to run up into a choke against 2 Vulcans with mass dogs. He has to get a flank. Or, like, there's just no way, right?
This very narrow area is where the Vulcans are going to thrive. I mean, the damage spread is going to be brutal. And I think that Nightmare only has one angle here. I don't see anything on the mini-map where he's going to wrap around.
I don't see a flank coming this time.
This position's going to melt.
He does get a nice nano swarm onto those Vulcans, which will take a lot of their health down over time eventually. But, I mean, he loses the base here, right?
Yeah.
We're actually going to snipe the Atlas and the other Vulcan here. So the Exos now coming in, doing a pretty decent job with the Medtechs healing them also. I feel like we could have maybe jumped up to... Oh, is that the shield that he's got?
Yeah,
oh, he does have
he's
the
got the
shield
shield
on
on
it.
there.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, if that shield wasn't there, I think he actually could break up that a little bit.
Those shields
but
are actually wild. Like how much those swing battles in this.
it is pretty crazy. And they used to be stronger, too. It used to be 100% damage. Now I think it's, what, 90?
Yeah. Yeah, it's really sick. Losing that base is tough, though, and he's got a Hornet harassing the new base that Nightmare's trying to make. So Nightmare's done a really good job kind of holding on this game, and he's like tech switched a few times, which has been really cool. Like from Exos into Dogs, now back into Exos. He's really kind of playing a confusing style here. But eventually, like Tank, Medtech, Vulcan, or Exo can deal with pretty much everything in the game, right?
Yeah, so far it does seem that way.
Yeah, in the mirror at least.
Yeah, I do feel like, though, I guess part of this depends on, like, positioning and map and all that, but obviously, like, as you start to grow in, like, for instance, if you get, like, too many Atlases, then suddenly the Exos kind of fall off, but, like, if the Exos fall off, Hornets become strong, and, you know, there's always that kind of, like, little rock, paper, scissors as far as numbers goes that has to be taken into consideration. One thing that doesn't go out of style, though, are these dogs running around me.
The dog packs, man, they're so good.
I love seeing it. This is how I'm going to get my 7-year-old daughter to play this game. Like, it's like Paw Patrol.
You tell the dog to stay, you tell it to fetch.
Yeah, it'll do whatever you want. It'll kill all the workers. I'm like, don't worry. They're robots. They don't have souls.
I guess we got another push coming here from KIWIAN. Oh, my God, the Atlas was in that, right? Yeah, so takes that out. This may be the final attack here. I mean, if he can just kind of cut this position off, there's really not a whole lot that like KIWIAN has to do from here, right?
I mean, there's not even a base here, right?
No, he's got so much more at this point. It feels like the Vulcans are actually doing a pretty good job being sprinkled in here as well.
Is KIWIAN like missing half his army?
I'm so
like,
confused.
He's got so
he
much
has to have more stuff
okay,
somewhere. It's 133 to 70 supply, so
might be more workers in there too, but
yeah. Anyways, this is kind of a slow fight here, but eventually KIWIAN should be able to just kind of push through now that he's getting his reinforcing Vulcans and then an evac in there as well. Unfortunately, nothing to really shuttle around, but he should be able to break this position, kill off this turret, and should be finding the end of the game here as he's finally able to amass enough of a force to break down here, doing some juggle micro with this Vulcan with like no HP. He's pretty sick. Styling on his opponent who's got 2 attacking units. So sick. Oh, we only lost it. All right, never mind.
Yeah. So sick, not good anymore. No. GG. That's going to tie it up, man. 1-1. Great game.
Yeah, no, this one was very good. I like the difference, like trying to open up with those hedgehogs getting something done. Honestly, it didn't feel like they did all that much. It didn't feel like it quite paid off, but still very well played.
I think like what Sturgeon said earlier is it did allow him to get that faster third base, which did help him out a lot. And then the fact that he was kind of, I don't know if it was on purpose, but kind of like bait Nightmare into it to all-inning onto it to try and kill it, and then he gets the huge swinging fight, which is when Top really started to grasp the game and just kind of go along with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like we're watching the Vanguard mirror like meta kind of evolve in front of our eyes, right? Like we're seeing these dog tags, dogs into Exos, back into dogs, mixing in Hornets there. Is that worth it? I'm not really sure. We're seeing them do some damage.
The Hornets did not feel super impactful in these games.
I feel like you got to get Hornets like really early. Like they have their moment in the game, but they're not something you're trying to accumulate and build into.
Yeah, they feel like very early when you might abuse a lack of Exos, or like maybe very late when the economy's huge and the unit comps have switched a little bit, or you're wider on the map, so the flying ability helps.
I feel like in my experience, when I encounter Hornets, it's either like it's nothing, or I'm like, oh, I need to sort this out, and then it's not going to be an issue anymore.
I feel like the dogs even are doing a better job of harassing, though, than the Hornets are. Because like the Hornet damage to ground units isn't super good, I feel like. It's kind of like a Wraith and Brood War in that regard.
Yeah.
But not to the full, that huge extent.
Wraith is still a little bit better, probably, but yeah.
But the
dogs. You think the Wraith is better than something?
Yeah, I can cloak. It can kill other Wraiths.
Yeah. Very true, very true.
Okay, so this time it looks like we have Nightmare going for the barracks first. Last time he expanded, right? We went CC first. And we have Top mining that gas right off the bat. So the builds are looking a little bit different here. We'll have to see what the players are going to go into. Top's saving up his Luminite, so he is going to be taking that CC first. I know he likes to get a little bit of Therium before, like putting 8 on Luminite and then putting the rest on Therium, which is kind of interesting, instead of going up to as many as he can on Luminite. I don't know the math on that, but
Dude, if there's one thing I don't understand about this game yet is just how the economy functions. It's like I feel like I'm
Right.
so lost trying to deal with how much Ethereum.
Oh,
should
I
be
have
mining
some
and
kind of
everything.
adult learning disability with Ethereum. I never have the right amount. Sometimes I look down and I'm like, 2,000?
Yeah. No, it is hard to balance
Yeah.
Ethereum.
It's
a
a
very different resource than anything. If you're like a lot of us are StarCraft players,
Yeah.
and it's just not. It's not like any of our resources.
not
that we've had.
vesting
I'm
gas.
so used to just being able to put 3 on the geyser, and that's all I have to do.
Yeah, I was actually shocked because I was doing like reasonably well on the ladder and whatnot, and I'm doing my Ethereum. I'm like I have these ideas about how many to put on. Then I'm watching pros play at the very top when I was like casting that ECG tournament, and suddenly there's 12 of them on. I'm like, what? What? Like, what? You can do
Yeah,
this?
yeah,
Is this okay?
No,
Oh my
it
God.
never feels worth it.
Yeah.
this CC got delayed so much. He was up to 600 Luminite before he could put it down, and the Bobs have had to come off construction like a few times here. This is really good pressure for these dogs by Nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, he went back to that kind of one-base dog opener like that we used to do way back when, right? So, like, it's getting actually some pretty decent some damage done against the fast CP opener. I think it's a good play out of Nightmare because now he's got his done before KIWIAN's even
What?
got his finished up.
Wait, does Top have a barracks yet?
I don't think so.
No,
there it
that's his
is.
first
So,
one.
so wait, he
like,
went
when he
barracks
sent
first,
the extra, yeah.
and like it finished at a similar time to the CC first guy. That's how
Yes.
good the harass was. Wow.
That's
Oh,
crazy, isn't
what?
it?
Oh, okay, there we go.
Oh, weird.
So I think Nightmare's in a very good position this game.
Yeah.
He has the dog advantage already. His CC is at a similar time. If he go like this map's really good for dogs because if you bounce between the natural and the main and make them use overcharge at one of the bases, it's really hard to defend the other one afterwards.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
there's
a
so
good
many
point.
avenues to go between the 2 bases as well on this map.
Yeah, definitely. Is he going for the dog upgrade? We don't have a biolab, right?
I don't think so.
This
not yet.
feels like a very good map to go ahead and do that on.
Yeah.
Like I saw the sentry post put up, yeah, but even though that has an attack animation, it doesn't do any damage.
Yeah, it doesn't
That's
feel,
been my
it
findings. I don't know
doesn't,
about
it
you
doesn't
guys.
feel like it.
Yeah.
I agree. No,
They
you-
did buff it a little bit this build,
Oh,
right?
did they?
Oh,
Okay,
did
yeah.
they?
A little bit, yeah. I think it went up like 4 or 5 damage.
Oh, okay, that's actually good because
No, that
it
is
felt
good.
silly before.
It was a tickle.
It felt like an
before, right?
empty bunker.
Yeah.
I'm really curious what Nightmare's going to go into here because he has such a good early game. Okay, we do see the biolab going down as well as tier 2, so it looks like it's going to be dogs here, right?
Yep.
Or it could be Exos. It could be Exos.
I guess, but I feel like just because of the map, it's so good for the dog play. Like I feel like he has to go for that some more, right? Like I feel like that's a really good idea here.
Yeah, I mean, he already made the 3 dogs, so that does make kind of sense to lean into continuing the dog production.
And he just did so well with it in general in the other 2 games too. I think.
Yeah.
I think when he has his giant gaggle of dogs going around, I think it's really good for him.
Be quiet, Tasus. Tasus, I'm sorry. I had your mic shut off. But, yeah, so, like,
Check. Okay, I'm back.
If they both
Nice.
start massing up dogs, right, like, I wonder if there's a...
Artosis, I'm back.
all right.
Sorry.
Guys, you just ignore him so he thinks his mic is still
My
off.
mic was off. Hi, everybody, I'm back.
Muted.
So, if you're going mass dogs like both sides here, it feels like, what were you saying before, Tasteless? Like some of these other RTS games, like Vulture vs. Vulture, where you just keep going. Like,
It's like
should
this.
you
It's
be
like this
going,
arms race. You
Yeah.
can't stop now.
like go 5 or 6 barracks dogs, just
Yeah.
like pure.
The only time you stop is when there's not enough surface area for them to effectively do damage.
Just dog
Luckily,
wars.
this map has trees. Thank God.
Yeah, I think you can support like 3 barracks production off 1 base, so maybe like of dogs. So maybe going up to 6 racks would be the max you can produce. From
Well,
for
they
2
have
bases.
the double luminate mines, right?
Eventually, yeah.
So that would
right.
be 9 racks.
Well, yeah. Once you, oh yeah, they actually already
K9
have
racks. Anybody?
the- Oh yeah, you don't even.
Hey
need
guys, who
turf
let the
for a
dogs
while.
out? Am I doing it right?
Oh my gosh. Now, if we were to bet on who was going to win this, would that be morally wrong?
Okay, he actually has the upgrade now, coming in here and shredding some of these bobs. Top's dog number is not too shabby though, considering how bad the early game was. But he's got to be careful not to lose too many workers here. He's going to fall further behind. He does not have the upgrade yet.
So yeah, these dogs are going to pull back here for
The upgrade's
Nightmare.
just finishing now, so now he might actually be able to take a fight if he has a good defensive position. And he's going to do that. He's getting the surround.
Yeah, he gets the habitat, but
That's a weird decision to just all in on the habitat
Yeah.
there. I mean, he did do a couple of upgrades there to get some extra damage done, but I mean, getting totally surrounded like that just
top
feels
is
so
supply
weird.
blocked, right? So like
He's
maybe
not.
there's.
Oh yes, he is. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah, heavily.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
I hope
I read
he
it. I
is.
read it the opposite way. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that looks really bad, but then it's like, oh wait, he actually can't make dogs for a minute here. Vanguard can make habitats really quickly though with the power
Yeah,
build,
yeah.
and also upgrading the habitat into the solar panel one, which gives supply. So top, well, he's actually still supplied. Okay, finally goes up to 60 available supply. But Nightmare gonna be on the back foot for a minute, as he did lose a ton of dogs in that attack. Has to remake them.
Man, the dog harassment is just completely relentless.
Yeah, I guess there's not a lot you can do, especially for these workers that are going to be out at the Therian patches and stuff like that.
And it's so hard to take a third here because then you have to defend 3 locations with less dogs than your opponent.
I wonder at what point you can just like hard counter the dogs with something like Lancer plus Sentry Post, right?
I wonder
Like,
if a lot of it comes down to SimCity.
He's got the speed buff
If
from
you
the
have to
top.
base,
Oh,
like,
sick.
if you get the right building set up, then the game can't develop like this. But if you're kind of on a kind of I don't know, naked position, that you just get abused.
well, that's the real answer to melee units, or it's buildings.
Yeah,
Critical mass and buildings. Those are the 2 things you got to look at.
Then the issue with going into Lancers here is the dog player just takes bases. And like, how do you move out across the map against mass dogs, right? Because you still have a ton of dogs yourself, and they'll die and you'll get backstabbed. Like, so once you have the dog lead, you can also get the eco lead through that.
I have a question. If the towers now give a moderate speed boost in general, do they stack? Are those dogs going even faster now that he has both speed camps?
They look really fast.
look
I'm
like
not gonna
they're
lie.
fast,
They are
dude.
flying.
Jesus Christ! Jeez, those things are flying.
These are greyhounds now.
He doesn't even have the tier 3 upgrade yet. Imagine both speed camps with the tier 3 upgrade going too.
Oh my
Do the
God.
speed
Holy
camps
cow.
actually stack?
That's what I mean. It
don't
looked
know.
like they started going even a
they're
little
going
bit
to take
faster.
off. It's like Back to the Future. They disappear.
We switch over to the bracket and we notice that actually now Nightmare won the previous round because his dogs got into the game. Like, we go back and watch ourselves casting a game we don't remember.
Yeah,
I take out a photo of us and we're disappearing. I'm like, what? Stormgate, Frostgiant, what have you done? You're not supposed to play with time. Jean-Claude Van Damme is looking for Tim Morton right
Guys,
now.
matter can't touch the same matter. We know that. Oh my God, it is crazy they give 2 Luminite spots to you that quick.
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
makes for a completely different game.
It makes it cool with how many dogs there are, man.
Yeah, dude. At first, we were kind of laughing about how the dog meta's kind of stupid, but this is actually kind of the most.
Well,
fun
this is
I've ever
entertaining. If I was playing this, I'd be very angry right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
but
yeah.
God, he's going for bipeds. Hold on.
that is funny. You know, I would be, if I was a Lancer, I'd be like, I have armor and a scythe. Like, this, I will kill every
Yes,
dog
I can
there.
kill countless dogs.
This is not an issue for me.
It's like those questions about like, how, would you be able to defeat like 50 babies attacking at
Yeah.
the same time? It's
Yeah.
like, yes, I could.
100%.
The
And that
Lancers
Lancer
still
I
sitting
can
around in
defeat
the
as many
barracks.
babies as you want, yes. So he's going to back up. Yeah, I mean, where would you expand to next in this kind of mass dog game? Or would it be worth it to even hide a base?
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
hiding the base might
Imagine
be
if
a
you
good
just,
play.
like, sent something to the bottom right.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're never going to find that, right? Not right now. Like, in a year or something when the pros get better, you're going to be able to split things off. But right now, your entire brain is trying to calculate dog arcs.
What a sentence.
Yeah.
Calculated
It's the
dog
first time
arcs.
it's ever been said.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the top mixing a few Lancers here. It just kind of guarantees that he'll win any straight up fights. And he did have that base kind of nice and quickly, so... But I don't know, Nightmare's just still making dogs, and Top's trying to transition to Exos and Lancers, right? Like, eventually. It's tough to do it, but there's going to be a window here that's very scary for Top as these dogs run around looking for any units out of position that you can pick off. And oh my God, is that the pounce?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
wow. You see them just light up there and get all that extra speed. And Nightmare jumping on this army.
Oh, wait,
That's
stay.
crazy.
Go.
Stay.
Attack.
Fetch, kill.
Yes.
Sick 'em, boys.
Nightmare's the real alpha here.
Yeah, I think Nightmare's found a good timing while Top was trying to transition into, well, Hornets and Exos and stuff. But
The Hornet is helping to clean this up a little bit with those Lancers.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, I mean, he can't
actually
kill
that
it.
looked really one-sided for Nightmare.
This is really weird. Does this remind you at all of like a TVT where like the Terran gets one Wraith and it's just
Yes.
tanks and vultures, and you're like, oh, okay. This is going to take a long time to lose this, but I will lose this.
Well, the dogs are going to try to get into the... I like the defensive turret there as
Yeah.
well to be able to deny them from getting into the bob line there. But, I mean, with a couple of Lancers and the Hornets, it's getting really difficult to fully bust in here as Nightmare.
yeah, it's weird. Like, Nightmare's doing so much on the ground here, killing all these dogs and stuff, but he doesn't have a way to deal with that Hornet, so he will eventually get pushed back, right? And if Top can kind of stabilize on what might be better tech here, he could be in a good position. He's forced to go Exos because Top can keep making Hornets, right? Like, you're going to need some Exos to defend your workers at some point.
But then the dogs.
And around we go.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to see him get the speed buffs again. I want to see him the speed buffs with the tier 3 upgrade. I want to see how fast they go.
How much energy does the shield cost for Vanguard?
Well, that one's
That
from the
shield?
Rampart, right?
Yeah, one is the depot one, or
Oh,
the habitat
okay,
one,
okay.
and one is the unit one.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that Rampart one doesn't use the top bar energy, right? It's just
Yeah.
on
It uses the
Yeah,
energy
yeah.
on the habitat.
Yeah.
But the top bar one, do we know how much energy that is?
It's not much.
It's cheap, right?
Yeah, it's not. You can usually just throw it out anytime you have the cooldown, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to get really awkward now for Nightmare. He's not able to actually deal with these Hornets very well until he gets these Exos out. So he's actually been able to, or KIWIAN that is able to kind of even this up a little bit, even when it looked like he was about to just kind of die to that huge dog push.
Yeah, his supply's pretty good. Getting another expansion up now here.
Yeah, these games are so interesting. They look like either player could die at any moment.
I tell you what,
There's so much swinging, too.
This is
on a
much
knife's
more
edge.
fun than the older dog meta.
Mm.
The older
Yeah,
dog
yeah,
meta
yeah,
was
yeah.
actually very annoying and like too aggressive and too much damage too quickly, but like this has actually had some cool back and forth.
Right. The old meta was like one base, right? This
Yeah,
is like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
you guys
yeah.
get to 4 bases and
Yeah.
you actually make a bunch of
There's
different
actual
units to counter each
counterattacks.
other.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, damage on both sides, tactics being used.
This is kind of the other cool thing about how Stormgate doesn't have upgrades, like unit upgrades or
Yeah,
whatever.
you don't get like 1, 1, 2, 2, 3,
So like
3.
you don't get forced into having like one type of unit, whereas
Right.
like like for Terran, it's like you get forced into bio because you spend so much time on the upgrades. Same with mech.
Yeah,
so you can
yeah.
just kind of keep going back and
Yeah.
forth, and it's leading to this pretty interesting dynamic mid game and late
That's-
game for VVV.
Yeah, I think that's the best argument for the no like attack upgrades and stuff.
Yeah.
Although it would be cool +1 dog attack being called Dew Claws.
Dude, you're just throwing these out. It's
know.
endless. with
I have
you.
dogs, man. I have. I can talk about dogs all day. No problem. I have
Well,
daily experience of this.
I can dog all day.
Yeah.
And we might just be doing that as this game continues here. Like neither player either to break the other. Nightmare does have the slightly bigger army here with many more Exos as he pushes in, trying to whittle down these dog numbers of Top. Doing a pretty good job so far. And this is really awkward to get through this choke for Top again. Like, how do you walk through this choke?
I don't think you can really get through here, man. The angle
Yeah.
is so crappy, especially for the dogs. You can see he's going to keep him back. Well, not now. He's going to try to dive in.
He waited for the moment. Here
Yeah.
we go. You're going to pop that habitat maybe? No. Actually going after the turret for a second, but does back up.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You don't want to take too many shots from that Exo turret because they do a lot of damage.
He doesn't have to attack in there
Yeah,
either. He could just keep
no.
taking the base and like.
Oh
keep
my
the
God.
Oh my!
Reinforcements are here, boys.
A wave
Holy
of dogs. Oh my
crap.
God!
This,
Just diving in.
this guy's got a puppy mill at home.
The shelter's open, man.
Dude, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and this is like the problem when you start making dogs, right? Or when you don't have as many as your opponent. They can swing from base to base, and it's tough to defend like multiple locations at once against the bigger dog numbers. But
Oh, kill that, please! I want closure.
All right, the dogs are getting on top of all these exos, and now that the rest of the things from KIWIAN have kind of just gotten shaved off here, he's got really no way to buffer for these exos.
Are you supposed to like try to rush up to Nanoswarm in this type of situation?
I think
like
so.
I wonder because it feels like when the Nanoswarms go down, the pups like definitely are on a clock.
Yeah.
It definitely beats the dogs, but if they mass exos, then the medtechs don't do so well against them, right? Like dog medtech is going to lose to dog exo, I think. So like you need a certain amount of exos before you can transition into the medtechs, I feel like.
You just got to have the bobs around as well.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, did he have a base up here? Or are they trying to make a base? Either way, he's able to pick off those bobs and top pushing down here. He's heavily down in supply. He's looking to take out this base, or he's going to start to fall behind here. Promoting a few of these exos, zooming in. Nightmare's pretty out of position, so this base could go down here, but can Top get the army out is the question. Nightmare's army is huge, and it is coming.
Oh my god, dude, he's gonna get like a full surround here as well. Here come the dogs charging in,
Pounce.
pouncing on these units, and then running away, and then going back again, making it very very anticlimactic. But that's okay. I mean, he's up almost 100 supply here. I mean, this is surely all that KIWIAN actually got on the map.
This is very
This
cool.
kiting's insane.
Like we're making a lot of jokes and stuff, but like this is cool. I
God.
actually really
yeah.
like the unit switches that we're watching. I like
so
the
interesting.
masses of dogs trying to like block movement and stuff, and like the kiting back. There's something about this that is just like these types of armies I find very fun moving around. You know what I mean? Like very fast, lots of damage output, but not absurd where everything dies in 1 second. I like this a lot.
These have been, I think, the most interesting like engages and just in general games that I've actually seen in Stormgate yet.
Yeah, this has been a really interesting game.
It's so weird to go from buildings flying at each other to like to all these dogs running around the map.
Yeah.
It's definitely a change of pace here, but Nightmare is going to push in to the natural up top, overwhelming numbers now. He's killing everything. Top
That's it.
desperately trying
GG?
to counterattack, but he's going to have to GG out.
Wow. All right, 2-1 here.
Great game, honestly.
Yeah.
Sick game.
All these games have been so cool.
These are very, very fun.
And
I'm
they have
enjoying this a
totally
lot.
different openers as well each time.
Yeah, I like the different ways that they're going into it, right? Like the fact that the One Barracks dogs got the expansion up around the same time as the command post first.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Like that's very cool. You look at something like that, it's like, oh, like I guess you're supposed to do that. But then if you're both doing that, oh wait, do we instantly go to the bottom and go back to the one base top meta then?
Yeah.
Oh, that could be a problem.
Yeah.
But I think one base hog would be good against one base dog, right?
Well, you
know
have to
what I'm
hedge your
saying?
bets on that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
We haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
but
We really haven't had much
I
one
got that
basing,
one.
yeah.
I missed that one.
hedge your bets. Hedge.
Whoa.
That's what he said that. Don't
Guys,
Uh,
words.
That was him.
Words.
I'm not taking that one. I saw him.
I don't know if we could replicate that last game because of the double Luminite base. Like
True.
right out
That
there.
did make it cool.
That kind of,
yeah.
it's like you get so much Luminite, you have to just like dump it into dogs.
You know what I find
Yeah.
really funny is that the habitats die just so quickly to the dogs.
Yeah.
Because like my brain is like jumping through these things where I'm like, okay, how do you do this? Like maybe you need more walls and stuff like that. And then
think
it's
so.
like, yeah, but then they kill that wall in 2 seconds because it's habitats.
Here's the thing: the dogs can tear down the walls too.
Yeah.
It's like when the Raptors learn to open doors. Now, if you cheese with dogs, do we call that corn dog? How do we do this?
Oh.
You know?
All right, it's Jagged Moor here, and Top taking his gas as he always likes to do. It's kind of tough to tell what build he's going for because he even takes that gas when he does a fast CC sometimes.
Yeah. What is the purpose of that? Why? Is
I
he
think it's
doing
like a
that?
mining efficiency thing. Like I think some people think after 8 workers it drops off.
Isn't it after 10? It's 10.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
10 and 2 is the thing.
Right.
But apparently, Probe said yesterday that's apparently just wrong.
Right. I don't think it's really figured out, honestly. Like, and also getting the gas now is nice because I don't know. Like, you need a little bit of gas later, right, to get that first upgrade or whatever.
Yeah.
So using the bobs, which would be inefficient miners, might be a way to do that. I don't know. I just put all my guys on Luminite to start. Like, I'm not gonna
I mean,
lie.
that just kind of makes sense. Like, why would you mine
I-
Therium
yeah,
when
I-
you're trying to make the fastest CP possible?
Right. Okay, he does overcharge here. Going to take this fast CC. Goes down much quicker than Tops did last game.
So I guess the timing is very similar. The only difference, I mean, KIWIAN's was slightly later because he, I think, pulled the bobs a little bit
I
later.
guess we got to see when they finish, right? Because this dog could slow this down if you get him to pull off.
Yeah, the overcharged bobs can kind of hit that, though, and send it away, but you can slow it down a little bit. I'm curious what the follow-ups are going to be here. Will we see them both go into dogs like we did in Game 1? They both did a fast CC into dogs, right? Or is someone going to mix it up? It is close air, right? Very close by air on this map. So I don't know if that leads into some different strategic kind of possibilities, or if it's just going to be mass dogs, you know? On this map, I will say it's pretty hard to attack both bases with the dogs, unlike the last map.
Yeah.
True.
It's very different layout.
This map also does have a double Luminite mine as well, though, in the middle. It's kind of hard to get to that, but so I don't think it's going to really make a huge effect in the early dog stuff. But if it's later game, I mean, we've been seeing them switch back into the dogs in later game too, so that could actually still come into play.
It's kind of high risk, high reward going for that double mine, right? Because it is very close to your opponent. But if you get it, like, you are rich.
But you can also just wall it off pretty easily, I feel like. Right? And there's no way for, unless someone's going Atlases, you can't actually break that middle area to get to that easier either. So you kind of can just wall off that like high ground area, I feel like, and still be able to take it fairly easily.
How much does that barrack slow you down? Well, we'll point it out later. It's next to Ethereum. That's less efficient, right? To have that there?
It looks like they can kind of just run by the side of it.
RTS
It looks like it's slowing them down a little bit.
Yeah,
There's a little turn there,
So
so I would say that's
not efficient, right?
Maybe a hex or two
RTS
off.
games are weird because like sometimes you want to have a building like by the thing you're mining from because it'll actually force the pathing to be straight. But I feel like that's
I think the
not good.
pathing of newer games is so good that you're seeing less and less of that.
yeah.
Okay, so it is going to be dogs from top. Getting that biolab now, and I guess he's going tier 2. Yep, you see that tier 2 coming online. And same, basically mirrored builds here coming out from both players. So it is going to be dogs to begin with. And we'll have to see what the transition is. I don't think you can like kill each other's workers as easily on this map. Because you only have basically one front to defend. But if you do have the dog advantage, then, you know, you can just win the game with that. You know, with the map control, taking more creeps, etc.
Well, it looks like this is going to be one of our rare long Jagged Maw games.
Yeah,
that it's not 2 minutes, but
Yeah, no one wanted to switch over to Celestials for a quick little morph core rush here.
yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
They're playing the game wrong. They don't get it.
Yeah.
So
You fly that arc ship over and suddenly dogs are in your base, man. You want to deal with that.
So one thing on this map that makes it unique besides the shape where you're both close by air is that there are these creeps you can kill that give you a siege weapon that you don't control.
Right.
Which is interesting. It's very Heroes of the Storm-esque, but, you know, a lot of RTS games are basically won with a push from a siege weapon, right? Where you stay out of their range and they can't rely on their static defense to protect them, and so over time you can whittle them down and come in and kill.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to see that too much because the Skull Squisher would kill like 1,000 of these dogs.
I guess that's true. This unit comp can't get the objective that easily. But I'm just saying, if we get a long game, we should watch for that. It'd also be interesting if they gave you a creep that you did control. You know what I mean? It's interesting that you have a thing that automatically pushes, which makes for a certain type of strategy. But
yeah, imagine that. You just farm catapults all game.
Yeah.
You have all these little
you get a catapult, you
ships.
just set it back to defend your base.
Yeah. Just park them, hold position. There you go.
All right, the dogs are going to start to attack each other here over on top side of the map with Nightmare maybe not having the units that he thought, is going to be running back home to reinforce with the other ones here as well. I mean, the supplies are almost dead even here as well. So, I mean, both players are playing super close with each other, very similar. It's going to be up to the tech transitions now because obviously the dogs are not really able to find the damage that they would normally. So now what kind of stuff are they going to transition into? Are we going to get Lancers? Are we going to get Exos? Is someone going to go straight up to Hornets? What's the play here? I'm curious.
Yeah, for a while it's kind of dog chicken, right? Like, are you going to keep making dogs? Am I going to keep making dogs? Because if you stop and I don't, like, it's going to be scary for you for a while. We do see a third base coming down from top now, so looking to get ahead economically before he looks for any different tech. So I think he can't do anything but make dogs for a minute here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he might just get overrun, and then we're going to have to see what Nightmare's going for. As he is just still making dogs, and now, okay, going to take his own third base as well. So still pretty mirrored build here going into the kind of mid-game.
Yeah, and both sides are going to just keep expanding to the left due to the way this map is shaped.
Unless someone wants to risk taking those center bases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you know.
Dude, that would be so scary, though, against, like, Atlases or Hornets. But if you got it, it would be so good.
If you got it, you basically win. I mean,
Oh, boy.
Dude,
Oh, he can't get in the turret!
Dude, the Lancer was
Lancer
right
can't get
there,
in.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, he saw them coming. He just, too much bravado there.
Oh, he doesn't actually kill it. Okay, there it does finally kill that
bravado?
one.
What did you just say? Bravado? What?
Bravado?
Yeah, man.
Bravado, man.
That's like with Josh's Vegas.
You got me, dog.
Oh, my God. All right.
Is this thing going to live?
No way.
No,
I think
never mind.
Nightmare is too
I thought
much here. Oh, that Lancer not being able to get in the turret is so
It's
painful
brutal.
for Top.
Yeah.
He had that set up perfect for that, too.
If that Lancer gets in
That's
that turret, the
brutal.
game looks completely different.
Yeah, he would not have broken that for sure.
I mean, Nightmare was the one that, you know, kind of called the bluff, I guess, and then just went for the more dogs there when Top was trying to go for the transition a little bit earlier, the third CP a little bit earlier. And we just have so many dogs here from Nightmare. He's going to be able to run these down with the speed camp boost as well. Makes it so so good.
Yeah, Top
Look at that.
went for this mech bay here with the transition, and Nightmare hit a pretty perfect timing, to be honest. Before that third eco go online, and he's just ravaging everything here. Bobs, dogs, whatever's coming. Oh, there is a Vulcan.
Okay.
It's
But
wedged nicely in
has
the
he
middle of
not
those
done
buildings.
enough damage to Top that this
Yeah.
doesn't matter? Like,
So many Bobs have gone down.
Yeah. I mean,
maybe he lives technically because of the Vulcan, but yeah, the
Oh,
Bob
move him.
count is so low now.
Dude, if that Lancer got in the turret and he survives an extra minute to get a Vulcan out,
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah.
or 2 or 3.
Completely different looking game.
Yeah.
That's really unfortunate for KIWIAN, man.
oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Oh,
You've got
there's
dogs up here, too.
Oh, they're waiting. They're on stay.
Roll over.
Play dead. Or actually die, though.
Yeah, okay, everything going down here. Top's got basically a Vulcan and a Dream right now. GG is good.
It's a dog-eat-dog world, guys. Am I doing it right?
truly is. Wow,
Am I one of the guys?
Dude, these jokes
Oh my
don't
God.
stop.
They don't
It's
stop,
insane.
man.
I hope there's a
We
cat
got to get this
unit.
out before the next Stormgate tournament.
Oh,
alright?
yeah. Oh, we're just going to keep doing them then, aren't we?
How many dog jokes can we make?
I don't know.
Well, that was an interesting game. I mean, really a game that came down to like just having too much harass to deal with, right? You can't catch up. The Vulcan comes out. Obviously, the Vulcan will beat dogs, but it doesn't matter if you've already lost all your workers.
If he had been a little bit quicker and gotten his Lancer into the sentry post, because he lost a ton of Bobs there. He lost the Lancer, the sentry post, and he brought his dogs up because he tried to hold, right? If he brings his dogs up and there's a Lancer in there, those dogs turn around and he gets his Vulcan, and the whole game looks different. And maybe he has a big advantage because of such commitment into the dogs. So that's kind of a painful one. If I'm Top, I'm a little bit salty.
For sure. It's been unfortunate, but I mean, Nightmare winning is kind of interesting as well. I mean, he was also kind of one of these slight dark horses of the tournament, I feel like. To have him continue to go on to another round here is pretty cool.
He's improved a lot, right?
Yeah. I mean,
I think he's, like,
he only started
really
playing
good
like the
now.
last phase too much. I feel like he wasn't really playing in the earlier phases, I think.
Yeah, that was a really impressive set by him, and he didn't just show like one strat as well. I know there's a lot of dogs, but he showed like a ton of different strategies and stuff. So we are gonna call him over for an interview here.
Hello.
Hello, congratulations, Nightmare.
Thank you.
Yeah, how are you feeling? A little bit closer to your mouth.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
We have any questions, guys?
Okay, so I mean, there was a lot of dogs there. Do you think that dogs are like the best strategy for Vanguard versus Vanguard?
Dogs are strong.
No,
Dogs are strong.
Dogs are strong.
Dogs are strong.
definitely strong.
Any other? Who's his next opponent going to be? Can we get the bracket for a second? We'll put us on the spot here.
Theory.
Thank you. You're going to fight Theory next. Do you think you can beat Theory?
I don't know, but I hope I hope win.
You hope you win?
Yeah.
All right, well, we're wishing you the best of luck. Do you have anything you want to say to the people at home? Your fans? You can say it in Korean if you want to.
Korean?
Yeah.
일단 제가 종족을 잘못 골라가지고 좀 힘든데 좀 더 잘해서 올라가 보도록 하겠습니다.
All right, well, guys, we're going to go to a quick break. Thank you so much for doing the interview, Nightmare. Check out our merch, not just these shirts. Here, hold one of these Artoses. We got this shirt. We got mugs, hoodies. We got a bunch of designs on there.
Do you have this as a face mask, Tasteless?
Yes.
Because I would
That's
wear
what we
this
need.
for Halloween,
Yeah.
but it would scare my children.
Just wear it when you're sleeping. Guys, we're going to go to a break. We'll be back continuing on here with the Tasteless TV Stormgate show match in just a little bit. Bye-bye.